calling this meeting of the Hadley Cemetery Committee to order. Today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. I'll introduce people who are here. I'm Alan Weinberg, the chair, Jerry Harvey, Kate Kenfield, Mary Thayer. And we have a full complement of members and therefore a quorum. And we'll get started. Does everybody have a copy of the agenda?
I'll look over
Believe it or not.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 items on it. Digitization of the cemetery maps and records. The Boston Tea Party ceremony is upcoming. The discussion of the Hockanum bench and or plaque. And gravestone restoration going forward.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to be looking for a couple of votes or approvals on a couple of things that we'll, as we discuss. Anything anybody else wants to bring up before we get rolling, or adding to the agenda for other business that we need to?
Just to mention that the north fence in the old Hadley Cemetery is looking great. That project is all done.
The old Hadley.
The old Hadley
Yeah.
Cemetery, yeah. Yeah,
Although they did have a couple of blips with it, but it's been resolved.
great.
So yeah, that looks great. Okay, so let's talk about the.
I had a couple of quick questions.
Yes,
Sorry.
go ahead.
With regard to like this, conditions of fencing, is that something that we're supposed to be reporting when we see something that's going on with the fence? Or
Of course, yeah. I mean, well, we did a formal inspection of a couple of years ago.
Right.
But, as a member of the cemetery committee, and especially if you have one of the cemeteries that you're particularly looking out for, I would say anytime you see anything that needs attention, either bring it to us or go to DPW, tell them.
Okay.
But yeah.
So there's just a couple of minor things at Plainville. Like there's two caps
Is this, are
missing.
you Plainfield or Russellville?
We
Plainville.
swapped. Now it's Plainville because that's closer to where I live.
So it's closer, Plainville, so Plainville's, I haven't even set foot in that cemetery for.
So there's just a couple of caps that are broken
Oh,
off
yeah.
and one rail that's
Yeah.
missing.
The vinyl.
It's minor.
The vinyl,
Mhm.
yeah, the vinyl
And
fence.
then of course the lichen, which is
Yeah,
obviously
I think we
not-
did mention that in our report, that the vinyl fencing at both Russellville and Plainville
Mhm.
has a lot of lichen and dirt on it, and some of the caps are missing.
Yeah.
And the gates are no longer there, but we
Yes.
recommended they get rid of the gates, since they never closed them anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But that's, so I think that's still on the table,
Mhm.
so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the first item is the digitization of cemetery maps and records. So just a little background. The current way of keeping track of information related to the cemeteries is basically, there are 3 pieces to it. There's cemetery cards, which are 5x8 index cards, front and back, for each lot. And that information on that card is like when was the thing purchased, who's buried there. Sometimes there's a little drawing showing the plots within the lot. Remember, a lot can be 10 by 20, or it can be multiple plots. Okay. Most of the cemeteries show the lots, not the individual plots, but they can be shown on the maps or on the cards. So that's one way records are kept, or have been. The other way is the actual deeds. When the lot is sold, there should be a deed, okay? And sometimes on that deed, you'll see lot information, the lot number, who owns it, and sometimes there's even a little drawing, not always. And then the main way is the maps. So there are 6 or 7 different maps, even though there's 5 cemeteries. Old Hadley has 2 maps. I think all the others have 1. Now, there's a section of Hockanum, and there's a section of Old Hadley that are not mapped at all. Those are the oldest.
I have an 1890.
Well, yeah, it's a sort of a map. It's sort of a map. And so same with Old Hadley. There's a sort of a map.
Right.
But since those are not active, but there's no burials there, we don't sell any lots there, there's no pressing need. I mean, it would be a nice thing going down to better map those old parts, but there's a pressing need now to get a better handle on and a more up-to-date method of keeping track of the information, especially on the maps, because, for two reasons. One is the maps are getting, this is North Hadley, I didn't bring old Hadley. This is North Hadley. This is not the end, this is a copy of
Right.
it. Gary Berg has the originals, and he keeps track, he writes down if anything's going on with these things. And you can see in the past, it's what they end up looking like. It's very hard to read, you get information crammed in there, and the maps are falling apart, okay, from the handling. So, and we anticipate that Gary will be retiring at the end of the year. And he's got all this stuff up in his head, and he knows where everything is. So I've been working with, with Scott McCarthy and Jessica Stewart and Mary to talk about how we can bring this into the 21st century, or at least the 20th century, and improve the record keeping. And it would serve two purposes. One, it would preserve these originals, because they don't have to be handled. And we can put them in archival folders and just tuck them away. And the other thing would be, so we're preserving the old maps and the records. And the other thing is we'll be able to keep updating this stuff and more accurate information on a system that is more modern and basically digital. If you're familiar with the assessor's maps that are, have you ever looked at the assessor's GIS system?
I haven't, but
But
yeah,
it is
I mentioned.
It's a GIS, Geographical Information System, where the maps are created. And then if you click on a location, it brings up the accompanying information, like, when it was sold and what the assessed value is, whatever they
Square
put in.
footage,
Yeah.
owner.
Yeah, all that stuff is in there. So something similar, not quite as sophisticated as that, something similar to that is what we would like to have, and what we have applied to CPA for, actually DPW. I did the work for them, helping them out, Mary and I, but it's really a DPW proposal.
So is that a platform or format that we already have access to, or will we have to pay
Not
for
yet.
it, or?
No,
Okay.
there are GIS platforms in town. DPW does have one. We may be able to use it. But-
Okay.
But they have to, the maps have to be created, okay?
Right. So it's,
Step one is scanning, creating GIS
okay.
version of the maps, and the third step is to scan and connect the cemetery cards and the deed information to each lot, okay?
And it's like, what, 3,000 to 5,000?
There's about 5,000 cemetery cards and maybe another 1,500 deeds.
So it's, and you want to search them.
Yeah. So, this is already a proposal since the CPA, but since we haven't met for quite a while, I think it would be a good idea for us to formally, as a cemetery committee, approve the submittal and going forward with the digitization and the CPA proposal, which I don't have a copy of it, but it's.
I do.
Yeah. We're asking for $40,000 to do this work.
But this hasn't been submitted to the CPA, right?
Yeah,
It's just created.
it's been
It
submitted.
has been submitted.
Yeah, they haven't
Last
approved
night.
it, yeah, they're gonna be.
Oh, sweet,
Yeah,
okay.
we
Oh,
did,
'cause that was your
throw
meeting, right?
we did throw a proposal in. It can be refined if necessary,
Okay.
but, and the cemetery, the
Have they
CPA
met
committee.
yet on it? then?
We met to discuss it last night. We meet on September 14th by Zoom to vote on it.
Okay,
And if it's approved by the majority rule vote in the CPA, then it will be on the town warrant. And it's
Okay.
the town meeting
In
that has to
October.
approve it. In
Yeah.
October 22nd. So it's the town meeting that has to approve it before it would be available to the DPW to
So-
do.
Yeah. Any, I'll talk a little bit more about how this is gonna work, but I think I'd like to get your blessing on our and DPW's requests.
Do you
for
have the
CPA
wording
funds.
of our motion?
I move, well, I shouldn't do it.
You wanna do it? You wanna
No, I
make
think
a motion?
somebody else should, because I'm on the CPA.
So
Oh.
here,
Well, I can go, I'll make a motion that the Cemetery Committee approves the request for CPA funding for the cemetery record and map digitization project in the amount of $40,000.
a second.
Okay, any discussion?
Just Alan's worked very hard on this. I think it's a great solution for having the DPW feel they can, burial, you often have like a 2-day notice. You know, you have to
Oh,
be
wow.
able to, because somebody passes and then
Right.
the funerals could be within
Written
a few
shortly
days.
thereafter,
So
yeah.
you need to, you don't want to start by looking through 5,000 cards trying to
Uh-uh.
find, there some are at DPW, some at Town Hall. So, and Gary managed it, but he, like Alan said, a lot's in his head and,
Okay, so.
And heaven
so-
forbid that he should retire, right?
he is, yeah.
And so we should take a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
I think since we're already on,
We should roll call?
I don't know, we probably should do a roll call just anyway. So Jerry, Harvey, yes or no?
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Alan, yes. All right. Approved unanimously, thank you. Okay.
I have a
That's so official. I didn't know we did official.
Well, we just
That's
want to make
terrific.
sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. If
Okay.
anybody asks at town hall, at
That's
town
a
meeting,
great idea.
did the cemetery committee actually approve this? Yeah,
Watch the
so we
video.
just did. Okay.
Yeah, watch the video and you can see.
Okay, I'm gonna, there is a little bit more I want to explain how this is gonna work, but let's go, because of time.
Can I ask a couple quick questions?
Yep.
So Gary Berg has the maps, but where are the cards?
They're in the town
And
clerk's office,
They're in the-
and the deeds are as well,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
Yeah, okay, so the next thing is, this is just to let you people know, that the Boston, have you heard of the Boston Tea Party Ship Museum in Boston? And does everybody know what the Boston Tea Party was?
Yes.
1773,
Fifth grade.
bunch of, hooligans,
You were not in 5th grade in 1773.
anyway. These folks have a project that they've been undertaking for the last several years, actually, to identify the participants of the Tea Party. I don't know where they get the list, but they guess they have ways. They have ways.
Lore, maybe
Yeah.
family lore.
Just a lot, some of it's family histories. And to identify where these fellas are buried, and to honor and
Oh, dear.
commemorate them. Okay? So it turns out there's one in Hadley.
A
Unbeknownst to us.
descendant,
Was that
A
No,
descendant.
no, a participant.
a participant?
not
Somebody-
living.
No, he's buried. He's buried in Hadley. Thank God. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they reached out to the Historical Commission and to the Historical Society and the Cemetery Committee, well,
Oh, dear.
the two hats I wear. And they would like to have they're going to have a ceremony on September 25th at 11 o'clock.
Which
This
is a
the po-
Friday, I think.
It's a
right?
Friday, I think. This is the poster, it's gonna be, that I did for the
25th?
event. And they will have, people from the museum, they'll have historical, they'll have the DAR, the Sons of American Revolution, a few other dignitaries probably from the
In
town.
Hadley or in
In
Boston?
Hadley, at the old Hadley Cemetery.
Are they going around to each community that they know?
Yep,
has
they've already
some-
done this in probably a dozen communities.
His name is
If
on
you go on their website, you'll see that they actually have
Jeremiah.
videos of it. It's pretty cool.
Katie.
And this gentleman who is buried in Hadley, his name is Jeremiah Cady. It's kind of an interesting story. He was born, his family was from Connecticut. He moved at an early age to Shutesbury, where he got married. He married a Hadley girl, Hannah Warner, okay? They had a child, oh, they had several children, but one of them was a daughter named Salome. Salome married David Cook, also of Hadley. Salome and David Cook, Jeremiah's daughter and son-in-law, had a daughter named Dorothy. Dorothy made one of our samplers that we had
Oh,
had
nice.
restored. It was donated to us in 2022 by her great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, who's also Jeremiah's descendant.
Right.
And this is a sad story about Dorothy. I won't go into it. But anyway, we have the sampler. So there's a connection with Hadley. Jeremiah lived in Shrewsbury into his 90s. He came to Hadley late in life. His wife had died. All his other kids had moved west. Came to live with his daughter where he died. He died in Hadley. He's buried with his daughter and son-in-law in that plot.
Nice.
And there's actually a stone with his name on it, although it's hard to read. But
In
it
the
has-
cemetery or in where they live?
In the cemetery,
Oh, okay.
Which one?
Old Hadley Cemetery.
In Old Hadley.
Yeah. He was
Okay.
also, by marriage, he was related to General Joe Hooker.
Nice.
His granddaughter Dorothy married Luther Hooker, who was Joe Hooker's cousin. So, a lot of neat connections. This guy isn't just a phantom.
That is so cool.
So there'll be a ceremony, and I think it'll be a nice thing. And it's the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, so it's kind of a nice
It is.
time to have it. Okay, so that just wanted.
I remember learning and I don't remember now, how much tea. I mean, it was tons of tea.
Yeah, it
It
was
wasn't
probably
just
that.
a few boxes.
No, it wasn't symbolic.
It was,
But Jeremiah was 20 years old. He happened to be in Boston, went to a meeting of the Sons of Liberty at the Old North Church, and he got roped into the guys. He was an ardent patriot. He also served in the Revolution. He fought at Bunker Hill.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
Wow, that is so awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so now the next thing on the agenda is the Hockanum bench / plaque. So, as you may remember, we replaced the stone fence that was there, originally built by the WPA in 1935, or the first section of it was. And it became quite dilapidated and collapsed. And we needed to do something with it, and it was decided 6 or 7 years ago, I think it was, to replace it, not to try to rebuild it, but to replace it with granite posts and chain, which is what's there now. But we also wanted to commemorate the fact that this was a historic project, a WPA project. There were several that were done in the mid-30s, including cleaning up the cemetery after the 36 flood and some other things. But this was actually a structure.
Right.
Okay. And it was built with local quarry stone.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they just cemented it all together. It wasn't a very good construction technique. And it lasted 50, 80 years, and then it started to fall apart. So we replaced it, but we want to commemorate it, if possible. There was some money left over from the CPA.
There's
We-
$5,000.
About $5,000. We kicked around the idea of a pillar, or we actually had a plan, but
Okay, you had some
yeah,
ideas for stones.
I think 5,000 isn't enough to build something like that. So we're now
And
thinking.
we're not sure it's needed because Becky Russell
Right.
has kept an original piece on.
Yeah,
Part of
right.
it was on her property and she
Yeah.
left
There
that.
there is that's a good point. There were a part of the stone fence, it's a stone wall, but they call it a stone fence. It's still there on the site.
Okay, good, that's.
But of
that
course,
materials.
anybody walking up to us said, what's this? You know, what's this
Right.
pile of, what is it?
Right.
You know, nobody knows the story.
And that wasn't actually what the WPA did.
Yeah, that was the other end.
the 50s, but it was the same stone and the same look
Yeah.
and they
Oh, it's
they
left
mimicked
over.
it.
Oh, I didn't bring my iPad. So anyway, we're thinking, Mary and I had talked, and we want to discuss it with you folks about the possibility of doing something like the marker on the common for the Palisade. It's a stone, it's a brass plaque about yay big with actually a drawing or a picture of the Palisade and some verbiage about the Palisade. Historical Commission, I think, did that. I don't know if they got CPA money to do that. They might have. It's a way back, it's a while back.
Yeah.
So something like that placed on the site, you know, is one option. I think we might be able to do it for less than $5,000. We have to go talk to a couple of people, but we don't want to really go unless you guys feel like it's worth doing. And this is, I just pulled this, I just put this together. This is what it could look like, only not in color. This would be brass. This would be a rendering in brass of the wall.
Oh,
Okay.
look at you, you even have the wording and everything.
Yeah, and I originally had a longer version of this, but I think it has to be short.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just pass this around. And again, this is subject to change. But we could take that to Dorsey or somebody who does these things and say, this is what we have in mind. I know they've done it before.
So they do a brass impression?
Yeah,
on this?
exactly. It's almost like a sculpture. They do they
The
a
molding.
mold and then they pour the brass.
Hmm.
And there are several of those around town. The one that's closest is the one that's on the Common for the Palisade. I have a picture of something that I took up in New Hampshire. And it's for an old mill building they took down. And they have a picture of the mill, and they have the story of it. And it's on a metal, I don't know if it's brass or not, but it's a metal plaque, and it's on a post. So there's different options that we could do. I'd love to have a bench up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah. So we
think
could
that'd
have
be
a
very
bench and this would be on the ground underneath, so something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'd like to pursue it because
Yeah.
the CPA committee's going to have to vote to
Well,
extend it.
it's supposed to be, it's been extended already, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be used by November 2026. And what we tend to do is if there's a plan in
Yeah.
place, then as long as it's done by the annual meeting,
Yeah.
we don't have to maybe vote to extend
Okay,
it.
so we'll
because-
see.
But only because it's one more vote at town meeting, if it's really almost done,
Yeah, okay.
It was the Lyman quarry.
Yeah, I thought about putting that in there, and
Well,
we can still,
It's certainly local.
we can fine tune it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's nice to do that.
Where is that for?
It was just over into the South Hadley line,
Okay.
like near, back up on that side of the mountain,
Yeah.
but it's not an active quarry.
It's not active anymore, yeah.
But it wasn't too far from the
Not
cemetery.
at all.
Yeah,
It was
it's-
within probably a mile, half a mile probably, yeah.
So anyway, I'd like to get a motion to pursue this, and maybe authorize Mary and I to do it, to check, to look into the possibility of doing a plaque or something similar in
Along
the next
with
couple of
maybe a
months.
bench.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're leaning toward a plaque rather than the bench idea?
Well, if we can get both, that would be
So we
great. I
could
mean,
do-
we don't know how much it's
How
gonna
they
cost.
would design, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it would probably be a nice bench, it wouldn't be,
It'll be a granite bench.
granite bench or,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll see what they have. I mean, they have all kinds of options and prices. So, would somebody like to make a motion to authorize Mary and myself to pursue or to look into the possibility of a plaque or similar
Commemorative.
memorial for the old the WPA stone fence.
I make that motion.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Jerry?
Right.
I say aye.
Mary? Myself?
Aye.
Okay.
And I wonder even a possibility if the Russells were interested of maybe having the plaque even on the old section of the stone wall.
You mean the one up in the north end?
Right.
Yeah, we can put it anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they'd have to
Yeah.
approve it, but
Oh,
they were
that's not on our
interested.
property, that's,
Right.
yep.
Right.
Okay.
Is there still thoughts of trying to use some of that old stone in some way?
Just
Others-
feeling that it would be prohibitive, kind of expensive.
It doesn't prohibit us down the road from doing something with the stone.
Yeah.
We maybe do a fundraiser or something.
So I think the last time we were discussing this, I my partner's a stone
Yeah.
mower, he just, that's what he does, right? But then, you know, we were talking about how getting bids would be necessary if we were to involve,
Right.
you know, folks who, artisans of any kind, which I'm guessing would include door sealing. We'd have to get bids from them, or would just.
It depends on how much, what the amount is and
Oh,
and what it is you're getting. If it's services or if it's a,
You don't have to have a
Something.
formal package. I don't know if it's under 20,000 or
Yeah,
under 50,000.
yeah, if it's
But you
under
still
20,
need a few bids. They still
you
want
need, you need
to-
a couple of quotes.
Oh, it's time to go.
Yeah, there is a procurement
Okay. Um,
So that-
process.
You know,
That's-
one thing we might be able to do is use some of that stone. If we had a bench, maybe we could put some of that stone on the ground
Underneath it.
in front of, you know, under
Yeah.
the bench, so the
Yeah.
grass isn't growing
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
around it and stuff.
Yeah,
But
There's
then
a-
it needs to be weeded and, you know, but I guess if you did a
Well,
gravel base.
If you do, right, yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
or there's a number of things that can,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Right, right.
Um,
well,
So, yeah.
we'll look into it and, see where we go.
It's not nice, smooth stone. It's,
Right,
you know,
right, right.
It might be hard to
Okay.
have it
Yeah.
on the ground too.
Okay, so,
You don't want
good,
people
we did
tripping.
that, we did the Tea Party, we did the plaque. All right, so the last thing I have is to talk about restoring the gravestones. You know, again, we've done a tremendous amount of work in all the cemeteries. Now, I think it's probably over $200,000 over a 5-year period to do the worst stones, the ones that were falling down or badly leaning. And the cemeteries look pretty good.
There's one
But
that's.
there are still more.
leaning-
I know that North Hadley, when we were putting the flags out in North Hadley, there must have been 4 or 5. I think there's 4 or 5 in Old Hadley. I don't know about Hockenham or Plainville.
There's one in Plainville that's at about 45 degrees,
Yeah.
and then a couple
So
more.
this
that
is
are-
something we should try to stay on top of and not wait every 20 years.
Mhm.
And I talked to Mary about, we had the CPA roundtable, I guess, an open house. We were kicking
Right.
around ideas, not just the cemetery committee, but other people in town, ideas about what future projects we could do for CPA. And I brought up, well, we could use a kitty or some kind of process or a fund, maybe a revolving fund or something where we could every year do 5 or 6 or 10 gravestones, okay? And I think Mary thought maybe if we did a 3-year, with a proposal for a 3-year thing, like, it's like $15,000 to spend $5,000 each year. that
Now,
you
this
could
is
do.
hiring somebody to come in.
Yeah, we'd have to,
and do
well, obviously, we
those.
have to go through the whole procurement thing and hire somebody. But, you know, you can't, go try to hire somebody to do 2. It won't happen. You won't get anybody to come and do 2. It's
Because
gotta
they're
be,
booked so far out, or
It's just
No,
a
it's-
lot to travel. but
it's just, it's not worth it.
there's like one person in all of New England that does it?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that?
There's a few. We used to have Fred Oakley in town, who was president of the New England Cemetery Society, but he would just go out and round a
Well,
few people up and do it.
He got people from the county jail to help with some of
We
this
helped
stuff.
him a few times out in
Yeah.
Hockenham.
Does the person
I'd
need some
rather-
sort of a certification
You
or
want,
something?
you
or-
want them to know what you're doing.
Right,
Yeah.
of course, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and he
they're-
had this triangle thing. I mean, they're pretty heavy.
Yeah, there are professionals who do this. And we've had, I think, 3 or 4 different professionals do work. So, but that, who would do it is down the road. The
Right,
question
right,
is pursuing getting the funding.
Right.
And it's so I mean, CPA funds are not supposed to be used for regular maintenance. And
Right.
Where's that fine line?
Well, this regular maintenance is mowing the grass, okay?
Yeah,
If you have something that's falling over,
yeah.
that's, I mean, that's, you know,
Except that there's some every year
Yeah,
somewhere, but yeah.
I mean, if the gravestone is moved to 2 inches off its base, that, you might want to say, we can pull that back. But something that requires professional restoration, I would say, is not maintenance.
Right,
Something that these guys, DPW, can't or won't do, that's not maintenance.
right, right.
And if you look at all the CPA projects, probably the single most common one for historic preservation is gravestone.
There is a lot.
Yeah, but they're usually big projects, like, you know,
The
a
whole
couple
cemetery.
hundred at a time.
Yeah.
And we've done that, but that doesn't mean there still isn't a need. So I would like for the cemetery committee to be okay with, I don't think we need a vote, but just to have a sense that we should pursue this, and perhaps next spring,
February 1st
yeah, February 1st,
is the application
we'll put in
deadline.
some kind of a request for CPA for some kind of a ongoing or smaller scale restoration in the cemeteries. Oh, and along with that, I'd like to ask you folks, go out to your cemeteries, okay? Well, you'd be North Hadley, you'd be Plainville, Russellville, so I can do Russellville, driving by it. I'll do Old Hadley, you can do Hockenham. Go walk it. If you see any gravestones that you think need fixing, repairing, not just cleaning now, because we'll clean them at the same time, but these are ones that are severely leaning or on the ground,
Right.
okay?
North Hadley.
Take a picture of it, kind of, if you have a little sketch map of or if you know the name on the
Mhm.
thing, which you might not always do, but just to, and give me a count of, is it 4, 5, 10 in each cemetery, and we'll put that together in a little package. Now,
Can I have your little map? You said this is North Hadley, right?
I'm gonna give you this. You can have this. Well, let's talk about
I
it.
was just gonna take a picture of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, you can
But
do that
if
too.
you have it, that's fine.
So is that, everybody okay with that as a plan going forward for next spring? What do you
Wearing
think?
my CPA hat, having like this revolving fund, or, that's not really, we tend to be,
No,
here's a project, here's the
Yeah,
funds
well,
for it.
I'm thinking we come in and say, we now have 25
Yeah,
stones.
that's fine.
We'd like to do it either all at once or
Oh,
over a
that's
period of a
fine.
couple of years.
Yeah, that's fine,
yeah.
but not, we need 25,000 every 3 years for whatever comes up.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's better.
I mean, I
to
threw
be-
that out because that's how we pay for there is a revolving fund
It
for
makes
sale of
tons
lots.
of sense, it's just not really, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
how the CPA,
Right.
that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, that's fine, we'll do whatever, we'll fly.
Okay,
There's different ways of doing it,
yeah,
okay?
that's
So we'll pursue that, okay?
just my opinion.
All right, so let me just take a,
It's fine, I'll just go by Cook's.
was that,
I don't have to go over the bridge to get home, so.
We don't do
have
it
to
today.
finish. No, but I mean,
She
to
was
rush-
thinking maybe you were
Oh, they're
worried
gonna
about
close
her
it, they're
getting
closing it.
home.
I
At
know,
7.
bridge.
so, I know, but I can get home other ways. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have
go
to
to
go.
Amherst.
You won't have to sleep.
You
No,
have to
I
go
can
to
go
Amherst.
down Mill Valley Road and by Cook's.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's not that big.
Oh,
but-
Mary, I actually wasn't thinking of that.
Oh, I thought you were just.
No, I just, all right, so let me just give you a taste of what this GIS thing is handing
is
out.
really
And let me say that we are pursuing it on 3 different avenues. The first is we are asking CPA for money. We've had a proposal from Time Bond, DPW's consultant, to do, create GIS maps and, for all the cemeteries, and also to scan. We're still working on the details of what the scanning would involve, and how sophisticated, and how do you link it with the GIS. All that has to be worked out.
How do you have it readable?
Yeah.
Searchable.
So, that's probably the way we'll go. I had asked for a company called New England Document Conservation Center. I was up there for some other business, and it turns out that they also do digitization of records.
Oh, good.
I talked to their person, I met with them, I told them what we were looking for. She's supposed to give me a proposal, okay?
And would that be a GIS system or that?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, so not the GIS, the scanning,
The scanning.
the scanning,
Okay, good.
okay? So just so we'll have another
Right.
idea, and maybe they can do it in a better way, I don't know. We'll find out, so we're exploring that. The other way, which I've been working on, and Mary knows about it, and Scott knows about it, is UMass. UMass has a GIS training program in the geography department, which is actually my old major.
Okay.
I actually studied there, but when I studied there, they didn't have GIS.
Right.
They had maps that you made with a little ruler and crayons. They're so far ahead of what I learned. But I reached out to the people there, and they were very interested and excited about, oh, yeah, we can help you out with that. We'll have our graduate students, get trained and do something for you, okay? And maybe we can do the scanning too. So they've actually been working on it, okay?
Fantastic.
We don't know what the final product will be and whether it'll be useful, whether it can be used by the town or those for certain things. That's why we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. But I am optimistic that they are going to be able to supplement whatever we get from Ty and Bond. And it won't cost us a penny, okay? Except that, well, everything's going to cost money. There's a certain costs that you have to absorb. But the main thing, so what they've done already is, this is what now you can't use this, but they took that and they created this,
Oh, cool.
okay? This is the GIS on paper version of this, okay? I mean, it's rudimentary and it's, and the problem with North Hadley is that we don't have in the other cemeteries is these lots don't have any numbers. There's no way you can identify that on you can't say which card is that, which lot is that, we don't know.
But
It's the Granger lot, it's the family whose name on it,
Yeah.
okay?
Could
But
we create a?
I did, I already did it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Here.
We're gonna have to number the map, we'll number the lots.
Yeah.
And it gets complicated because some of these things aren't actually lots, they're plots, they're graves.
Hmm.
And so, again, they did the best they could to scan this, and this doesn't, how crummy this is, as far as being legible.
What is the material of the?
That's it, it's paper,
It's paper.
yeah.
That's how old? 100 years old, or?
That's
This is a
1896.
co-
1896.
Oh, okay.
But this is,
Yeah,
we
not
got
this.
a copy
Yeah, yeah.
This is a-
recently.
Yeah, we made a copy of it, but the original is 1896, okay? And it's been used and written on and folded up and.
Stuffed in a folder.
Okay.
Okay.
Not good.
Right.
So, so we can clean things up. We can create a new map.
Mm-hmm.
We can, and if we have, and there are only 51 cemetery cards.
For that whole.
51. There's 150 of these plots, at least. There's probably 1,000 graves, at least, in there, okay?
This is just old house.
Burials.
And some of them may have been sold, and if there's no card, you don't know who owns it.
No, that's why we are not selling any lots in North Hadley, Plainville, or Hockenham, because we don't really know what's there. And even Gary argues we shouldn't be selling any lots in Old Hadley either, because
He's
you said
afraid there'll be
not.
duplicates, so they need
because
this.
he says, somebody who has a deed wants to get buried, we may find out, oh, there's somebody already there. Okay, okay, we'll put you over here.
Does the DPW have any equipment where they can?
Oh, yeah, well, they
They
don't,
can-
yeah, it's called,
I don't know.
they don't use GPR, ground penetrating radar.
Right, right.
They could, and even that's not that good. We use a metal rod.
See if you hit anything.
I have one in my truck.
It
Yeah,
works.
It works,
So how do you,
it works.
just all of a sudden it goes,
Yeah, if you hit
Before you
anything,
bury it, before you start digging to bury anyone, that's your final test.
yeah. And
How do
that's,
you know that's
since
not just-
1920, they've been required, I think it was 1920 or 1940, vaults are required. So you're gonna hit the vault, you're gonna hit the concrete,
got it, okay.
4 feet down, bang,
But what about folks who are,
cremated.
yeah,
They're
But-
often in
but-
a box.
But if you,
Right.
they're not in vaults, hardly any.
They're often in a little box or
Yeah,
something.
but
Oh,
that box
not
is-
always.
Okay.
But what happens is, okay, I mean, it would have to be a cremation. Or you start excavating and you run into the cremains,
then you have to
Stop.
Right,
back out. But that's not like running into a casket.
right, right.
So, but that.
If they're in a container, but otherwise you're not
Yeah.
gonna see them.
They could
Right.
be gone. But I mean, since cremation is fairly recent,
Do we
Okay.
know the practices from all the way back? Like,
yeah,
what were they doing?
yeah, we know what they were doing
Yeah, okay,
or not doing.
okay.
Oh,
good.
you know what, in the really early days, doctors would go out and dig up the freshly buried bodies because they wanted to explore and see. There were no
Is that
books to
the
tell.
only way they could?
That way they could learn. So that was, so people would stand guard over the grave.
That was mostly more in England than in America, but yeah. The first burials in town were just, you dig a hole and you put the body in and you close it up. And they did not make a fuss about it. They didn't have a big ceremony, they didn't have a funeral. It was not important to the Puritans to
And
have
how deep usually were they?
probably 3 or 4 feet, or
Yeah,
maybe
very
5.
Depends how
So there's-
easy it was.
I mean, of course,
to
Hadley
dig.
soil's easy
Hadley's
to,
good.
Hadley soil's easy to dig,
Right.
so you're not getting any rocks.
So can you
And
just,
then-
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah.
No, please.
So so most of the most of that old part, we're not touching that anyway. We don't
Right.
touch it. We might you could put a cremain in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we would do that if
If it's the
we knew
family
that
already-
you had a connection to the family.
Got it, yep.
We've done that for porter families.
You can do up to 4, technically 4 cremains over a casket.
And that could be over a casket.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's
Makes
it's
sense.
pretty easy, not easy, but it's possible.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that complicated.
Right.
And I would say more than half of the burials that I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years have been cremain interments.
Yeah.
Very simple, quick,
Yep.
and you can put
Not very
them
deep.
anywhere,
Yeah.
and they're not bodies,
Right.
okay? You're not even required to inter cremains. You
Right.
could throw them in the
You can do
backyard
whatever
if
you
you
want.
want, okay? Because people do it because they want a place to,
Right.
you know.
Visit people.
Yeah, so that makes things a little bit more, practical, given the circumstances that we have. But we still, we need to know who's where, what we have,
Right.
to the extent possible. And going with this way will be, and we'll be able to update this stuff. So if we find out that, okay, this is lot 22, and that is the Granger lot, okay, and Aunt Millie and 3 infants buried there according to the map, and we don't have a card for it, but we may find out more information as we going forward. And then we would add that.
Hopefully we can, take some of the data and walk around physically through the cemetery.
One of the things I wanted us to do is once we get these maps, better shape,
Yeah.
and we have a working map,
Go across.
we need to go out and put, the other information that we don't have is the actual gravestone. Okay?
Like a
So-
picture of it, or just whatever we can read off of it?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
You go out and say, oh, okay, I'm standing here, what is there? Okay, there's an obelisk,
Yep.
and it's Granger, and who else is in there according to the, and we record that information.
Yeah.
And we put that on the PDF or whatever it is that's
Yeah.
created.
Yep.
So then when you click on that, it comes up with
Yep.
whatever information we have in our files, whatever information we have from field, ground truthing, from Find a Grave,
Cool.
all that stuff.
That's awesome.
It's very cool, and it's something that the DPW staff can do in the office.
Okay.
If someone calls up and says, oh, I want to bury Aunt Minnie over here, what do you got? Who's buried? We think we have a lot in
What-
North Hadley.
Yeah, what's left?
So
for
they can
space?
look up, oh, and your name is Freeman? Okay. Call the Freeman, oh, okay, yeah, we have a Freeman over here. And here's what it is. Okay, and yeah, okay, there's room for another full burial or cremation.
Before you say that, you go.
And
mad.
they'll be able to
I didn't know
do
that was
that without leaving the office. Obviously you have to go out and take a look. But it's,
And the DPW, if they have a burial here, they might just, quickly scan around it, even if they don't have time to do everything, and just, so over
wanna-
time it'll fill in, I think. Because that's a big job to say, all right, let's go check every single one,
So-
but,
there's a lot of room for improvement in how we keep the records, how we manage future burials and sales of lots. I think, the people, Scott.
You said you put the
Jessica
numbers
Berry.
on this? Just random?
No, no, oh, here's why I did it, like, just, when I said they built, the map is 1896, the cemetery, let me have the map back again for a second. When they first opened the cemetery in 1790, I think it was, this was the cemetery. They expanded it this way
Okay.
and here.
Is that what this line indicates?
That's just a road.
Oh.
But
But
it
will-
does actually.
yeah, I mean, more or less, okay?
And what does the slant indicate? Like, I'm
What?
sure that they put that on there for a reason, right?
No, this is just the way it came out on the page.
Their copy.
And north is this way.
What is this yellow box?
Nothing.
Nothing, okay.
It's just the way they scanned it. But anyway, when they did, in 1896, when they did the last expansion, and when they did the map, they did number these. You can see, see this row here? It has numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why didn't they do that for all the, they did it
There's
here.
an 8 and 9,
Yeah.
but I don't know what that is. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, so,
Is it
Oh, it's
possible
an
that
X,
there's
that's all.
yeah, if it is. then
markings that
it's-
did not
Yeah.
come
We'll
through?
We'll take a
Because
look at
there's
the
no-
original
yeah.
map when I get a chance to grab it out of Gary's hands, and we'll take a look. So I started there, and I just went back and forth like this.
Great.
It doesn't make any difference, as long as each one has a unique number.
And it doesn't include anything else that's on file, so there happens to be.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, looking at the cards don't
They
have a
don't
lot of
have
numbers.
any numbers. So you said
So
how
we
many?
could try to add them. you
Of
know,
course,
right,
of course, that's what you do, right?
Before
Yeah.
we have them scanned.
Well, even if you scan them, you can still change them, you can still edit them, or you can just resubstitute a new one. I mean, it's all just paper, it's all digital,
Right.
you know, you can,
Still,
so anyway.
nice to get it set.
So I'm kind of excited about it. We've been talking about this for years.
He's been working hard on this.
But
This
now
is
it's,
really cool.
it's become more urgent because Gary's leaving.
And that,
And
the originals
there's
are.
nobody else ready to try to put this all in their head again.
So you mentioned earlier how many cards and how many burials,
And you're talking specifically about, just about Hadley, right? Oh, North
No,
Hadley.
the 5,000 cards is all the cemeteries.
okay.
Well, as a general rule, there
They're
are
just
more
not many
burials.
for North Hadley, is what
What's
you're
that?
saying. You're just saying there are not many for North Hadley.
There are, yeah, there's 50. There's, and I would say this, as far as I can tell, the records are not only are they not accurate in many cases, they're not complete. But it is what it is, we have to deal with what we have, and we can add more information as we go along. But that's a challenge.
One question I have is it clear when you're looking at it, okay, here's the owner, is it clear if that person's buried there yet or
No.
not buried there yet?
No, it's not. It's not. You know, you
I know
this
it's one of those
is, this
things,
is,
Right?
I'm pretty sure that when they put these names on, this is just North Hadley now, I don't know. what-
Okay,
This Granger is, and he was a big shot. He was a big lumberman,
Okay.
logging guy.
okay.
Had a sawmill. That's why his lot's big and his thing is
Yeah,
big.
but
Yeah, a lot of
yeah.
money. Granger, okay? No more Grangers around here. But he was a big shot. So when they put this name on it, that, I'm 90% sure that it's the owner. He owns the lot. He bought the lot,
Yeah,
Right.
okay? Is he buried there?
We'd
This,
have to go-
probably.
or is 5 people buried there?
But see this other thing that they added later? This little name here? Enid Shaw. Yeah, somebody, when they buried her, they put her name on them. So that's what happens. You have
And the
on the card
location of where
and the
she
location
is.
of something.
Or on
You
the
know what
map.
the X stands for.
But we don't know whether or not the card reflects that. And we don't
We
necessarily
don't know if there is a card.
We don't know if there is a
Yeah,
card, okay.
and what the card
And
says.
what the card says, and we don't necessarily know immediately
Yeah.
what's on the actual
Right,
monument.
Right.
Okay,
right.
so we're gonna be
Yeah.
matching things.
Yeah,
This
so
actually kind of sounds like fun.
That's what makes it fun. But it's serious stuff.
So if
These
there-
are people's histories here.
Oh, yeah.
Right, absolutely.
And not,
Yeah,
and,
not
you
fun
know,
to make light
yeah,
of it.
Yeah,
And there are also some that might have been bought in the 1920s that nobody's ever been buried in and nobody has
Oh, yeah,
any
we-
idea who those people
I'm
are.
virtually 100% sure that people bought lots and did not bury anybody in it.
And there's
okay?
no monument there.
And
There's no
there's- and
marker.
there's
They
no
like
line.
moved west, or they
Yeah.
moved somewhere.
So there's
Yeah.
an empty.
I know that for a fact, okay? But, so, does that mean we can sell the lot? No, we don't know for sure.
Right.
We're not gonna start digging it up. It's gone. Although,
Unless
it-
there's some way to connect their descendants, but that's a lot of work
yeah.
too.
That's a
And
lot of
then,
work, yeah.
you know, you might have one descendant, but there might be 100 others.
this is not, I mean, and I'll say this is not unique to Hadley,
Right, yeah.
okay? You have to go to cemeteries that were built, Mount Auburn might be a good one. Fairly modern cemeteries with a record keeping is a heck of a lot better, and they're more strict.
Yeah.
These, remember, our cemeteries go back to the 18th century.
Yeah.
Some
In
cases the
in
17th century.
Germany, you have your grave spot for 25
Oh,
years,
do you?
and then it gets turned over.
That's happened here too.
I mean, that's the official thing, that's how.
Right.
Yeah, well, they did that.
There
in
was
some-
one Jewish cemetery in the area where we were, that they allowed them to stay for longer, but there's no 25 years.
I went
Well,
to
this-
one in Japan that was 200,000 graves, and boy, if you're not paying the fee, I don't know if it's every year, then you lose your, you know, it might be 500-year-old gravestone, but, you know, if some family member isn't still paying that fee, then you lose your.
Well, I like to think Hadley's got such a deep-rooted tradition of history. We still, you know, we're proud of the fact that this town's
Yeah.
been here forever.
Yeah.
And the
yeah.
families, there's many multi-generational families here. So I think there's a little bit more caring about
Right.
who's in the cemeteries.
And more knowledge of who's in the cemeteries. Yeah.
Well, as much as we can. But I mean, I was shocked to learn a few years ago that the oldest cemetery in South Hadley was moved.
Right, right.
The original cemetery is where the Gaylord Library
Yeah.
building is, across from Mount Holyoke.
Okay.
When they wanted to build the library, they decided they were gonna move the graves.
But we
They-
already did that to do Quabbin Reservoir too, so that we.
This was before Quabbin, but
And
yeah.
Boston
but-
Common, there's lots of graves that have been moved to where they
Oh,
are.
yeah, every time they dig up a subway in New York
Right.
City, they find a
gotta move
grave there. So, yeah, it's
All
not
right.
uncommon.
So just to
We're
get
doing
a,
pretty good, I think.
So,
yeah.
We are.
Just to get a
Okay.
vague sense, like if there are 50 cards for North Hadley, about how many burials do we think there are? I know we
Well,
don't know
you
for sure,
can
but.
see, you know.
But we
you
don't know
do-
how many of them actually have
Well,
people
if
in them.
you count the gravestones, and then each gravestone might have 5 people
There's a-
buried
There's
there.
a lot.
and you
So-
said
There's a
that
lot.
the
But are we
town
talking
clerk
like
has those
400
cards?
or 1,000? Or we
I'm
just not-
guessing there's
no idea?
1,000 North Hadley. That's a guess.
But
But the
it's,
card
if
might
there are only
list
50
5
cards,
people.
you said,
Right.
and they're at
Yeah.
the town clerk's
But-
office.
Well, each card might have 4 or 5 burials
Names
on
on
it.
it. So the
Oh,
card
okay.
is for the
The card is for the
plot.
lot.
Right. lot.
So you'll pick up a card, and there'll be 6 names on it.
You just don't know which
Yeah.
place it's for.
And then there's a separate, the deeds. I haven't collated the cards and the deeds for North Hadley, we should do that. Because we may have 50 cards, we have 30 deeds, which correspond to 30 cards, or we might have 20 deeds that correspond to 20 cards, and 10 deeds, there's no card.
I wonder if there's a,
Anyway, so
Hopefully there's a
the
drawing.
idea of going and checking what's broken or fallen apart.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
So North Hadley, I'll have this, right? So I'll be able to say, oh, you know, it's broken, and then kind of identify which
Yeah,
block
you
it
can
might
use,
be in.
did I give you that?
Well, you gave it to me and then you took it back.
Which one do you want? You want both of them?
Sure.
Take both of them.
You know, if she could take a copy of the numbered one, she could tell you what number it is. maybe.
Well, it's not official, it's just, I'm still figuring it out, and I had to,
Well,
I had to
the-
double check it because I might have skipped one.
You didn't, but you didn't, there are numbers on there too.
yeah.
So-
There's no
but you
numbers
didn't-
on this.
Only
Yes,
the
there
side
are.
ones.
There are a whole bunch
I
of
don't know, I
numbers
saw a
on
bunch
there.
of numbers.
There's lots of numbers,
Yeah.
but they are not necessarily, also, I took a picture of that one.
Oh, yeah, no, these numbers, I put these on.
You put,
Oh, okay.
I put them on because I wanted to keep track of where I was.
they match,
Got it, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is, I don't know enough about this to have any sense, but some sort of AI
Yes.
tool that we just scan the deeds, we
Yep.
scan the cards, and we ask the machine to match them up,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we double check, right? I mean,
Yeah, actually, Time Bond did that already,
oh,
just as a test. They took one of these, which cemetery was it?
Was it Old Hadley, the middle part?
No, it was,
Russellville's.
I don't know, they scanned the maps and they AI'd what the scan, okay?
and
And it-
cross-reference
and
it with the
And
deeds
and
or the
it came,
cards?
it came in, I have it on my computer, I should show you, it's really cool. And you click on that and it comes up with what AI thinks is
Yeah.
the information.
Right,
And actually, it's pretty good.
right,
Not 100%,
right,
I wouldn't trust it with my life,
Yeah.
we have to ground truth it, but it is a first cut.
yeah.
It's a first cut. That's, you know, those are the things, those are the nuts and bolts that we're kicking around in various ways, and we'll see what is, but there are tools.
Who
There are
did that
tools.
already? Sorry.
Was that?
Who did it already? You said someone did.
Ty and Bond.
Ty and Bond did a, you saw it, didn't you, that Scott, that he sent around?
What's Ty
Yeah,
and
I
Bond?
think-
don't know what
yeah.
that is.
Ty and Bond is DPW's engineering consultant.
Oh,
They're big,
They do sewer, they do all kinds of stuff. Environmental cleanup,
So, Alan, do you think it would, well, maybe you want to do it all at once, but would it be good to start with one cemetery and kind of work out the
well,
bugs?
UMass is doing one,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
Ty and Bond, they're doing Old Hadley.
Middle.
No, the new part. Ty and Bond did something with all of them. Actually, I'm sorry. UMass did scan and generate a rudimentary GIS thing for each cemetery.
Oh,
And you blow it up, okay? You have to get on, blow it up, you click on the thing, and it'll tell you what was on the map. Okay?
so a name.
The little-
A name
the little word or
whatever information is on there.
and is this based on the AI programming's reading of the handwriting
Yeah.
that's there, right? So that could be, I mean, how good is that, right? Like,
Yeah.
You can't even read it, can
It's
AI?
getting better all the time.
Right, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Somebody has told me, and I can't believe it because it's so hard, that AI can recognize cursive writing from the 17th century.
Good,
Yeah.
What?
Awesome.
I'm saying, what?
good.
Who taught AI cursive
Some
writing?
professionals whose job it is to read,
No,
you
they
know,
scanned in
there's-
100 million
But
articles that were all translated.
how good is it?
only as good as the people who
They used to say
have
garbage in,
expertise went into the
when
program.
computers first came out, the expression was garbage in, garbage out.
And, yeah, that's still.
It's still true.
But
All
I
right, we
mean,
should,
they've done that with census for generations, you know, to try to figure out the curve, what it was. And my cousin worked on helping the Mormons get data for 1940, I guess it was online.
Yeah.
But no, they'd have kind of a committee, you know, what do you think this is?
Right, right,
What do
right.
you think that is?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then they-
yeah.
they
It's
come
not-
up
Go
with
with the consensus.
That's neat.
so, anyway, all right, so any other business?
So, what kind of, this is to be for the
So
February
at
1st.
No,
So
this
we want-
this is before the,
The
CPA
broken
committee,
stones, that's
so
what I'm thinking.
as
Oh, no, the
long-
leaning stones will be for,
Leaning
we'll
stones.
put together,
Okay,
once we gather what we think needs to be done, we'll put together a package
What will our
for
goal
next.
be for how soon to
to
get
have
it
an
done?
application
Hey,
ready
February
for
1st.
February 1st, which would be voted on at the annual town meeting next May,
Oh, yeah.
because we're already past the point.
It's not due next week.
Actually,
No,
no,
no, no,
I'm
no,
so
no rush.
sorry.
I would do it before the snow flies.
No, we have $5,057.
Oh, this is what we're gonna do for the
So,
Hockenheim.
Right.
That's, yeah.
And then this one, we already have, he has the application right now in, so we'll be voting on it, the CPA will
Yeah.
be voting on it.
Yeah, but that's for the GIS.
Right.
What Jerry's talking about is
This is for
checking
how
the-
many stones
how
are a
many stones
problem.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I missed that part.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that, sometime this fall. Okay.
Oh, sometime this fall.
Yeah. And, you know, as
Unless you
you,
wanna do it
if you go through the cemetery, you see anything else that, you know, you think needs attention, just let me know. Put it together as a package.
Yeah, I think it's better to have it come from just you as opposed to
Yeah.
all of us sending in. something.
Okay?
Yeah, I guess that was
Do you
part of my
want me to
question.
hang that up at Barstow's?
Yes, please.
And that's mine.
That's yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved?
And second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned at 7:01. Thank you very